Hello, everyone, and welcome to our reading sprints. We are live now, and we are here for our second sprinting of the readathon. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my reading is going super well so far, and I'm having a great time, so I'm excited.
Yeah, you finished one book so far, right?
I did start it before the readathon, but I finished after our sprints last night. I just laid in bed and read on my Kindle, and I finished Feathers from the Sky, and the ending was actual insanity, and there was such a huge plot twist, and I just feel like it was one of the most well done plot twists because I didn't see it coming, but looking back at all the info, like, it made sense. So those are the best
hmm
plot twists.
There's a book actually that I wanted to ask you about, and I keep getting reminded because I think it's called Feather, and I saw that
Yes,
you've read it. It's like a
by
series.
Olivia Wildenstein. Yeah, she
Yes.
her new series that's like getting buzz right now is House of Beating Hearts or something like that. House of Pounding.
Is it House of Beating Wings?
I That is the first book. There's like three
Oh,
books.
yes.
So Feather was actually really good, and it was really cool. It was like a unique premise because it was a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but basically you have angels, and in order to like earn their way to heaven, they have to help souls, and you earn all of your feathers on your wings. So
That sounds so cute.
so this girl, I forget her name. Is it Juliet? No, I forget what they call her. But anyways, our main girl, she she has to earn her wings, and then like something happens to her because also if you do something bad, you lose the feathers. So like if you say a curse word, then like a feather will fall off. Pretty cool. So something happens and she loses a lot of feathers, so she decides to take on like one of the highest ranking bad guys who's like the head of the mob in France. And it's like, so she has to try and like help him redeem his soul.
Oh my gosh, that
And
sounds so
awesome.
good.
It's such a cool series. Actually, let me show you. I'm gonna grab the books real quick.
Okay. Also, hi everyone that's joining the chat. Thanks for joining. Sorry, we're talking about this book called Feather by Olivia Wildenstein. It's not a new book. It was published in 2020, but I saw that Katie had read it and I was really curious about it because it's like an angel fantasy romance and it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and like the female main character is an angel and the male main character is like part of the Parisian mafia, and it just sounded really interesting. So she's grabbing
Yeah.
the books because I was like, read this series, so I wanted to like ask her about it.
I don't know where my copy is at the current moment because ever since, I mean, I should have things more organized now because I literally moved in January, but all my books still are not organized. But if I'll find it later and I'll send you a picture. But it's really cool because the hardcover has like the characters on the hardcover printed on, and the art is so cool. And I like love that because every time I was trying to picture them, I would just like close the book and look at the hardcover.
I do the
But
same thing.
it's a really unique and interesting series, so I would definitely recommend it if you are intrigued by it.
I need more angel books. Like, I feel
Yes.
like when I started reading Crescent City, I was like, oh wow, I need more of this. And then
Yeah,
I just
and
never read any other angel books. And so I saw that one recently and I saw that you
mhm,
had read it. And I think you gave it five
I
star. You
did.
gave it a high rating.
I do have a reading vlog where I read like just that series. I can send it to you, or maybe I'll just put it in the chat if you guys are curious.
Are there
Um,
spoilers or no? No spoilers.
no, I don't usually do spoiler reading vlogs because I'm too
Perfect.
self-conscious. I don't want to ruin people's experience.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'll usually only do like a spoilery section at the end, but I don't even think I did it for this. Okay, there you go.
If you're just joining, let us know what you're reading in the chat as
Yeah.
well.
Let's all right. Let's try showing some comments. Hi. Can I? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to figure out. Can I change the color of this?
I
I think
think
so.
you can. Yes.
I'm trying to get like a light pink. There we go. Okay. Back to the comments. Sorry, I don't know how to work things. Hi, Morgan. Hello. Hi. I've seen a lot of things about this book, and I still haven't read it.
I have too. It has a really pretty cover as well.
It does. There was like a really pretty, I think one of the book boxes did like a pretty color flipped special edition. Yeah, I just put the link to the reading vlog with Feather in it if you guys are curious, because it's such a cool series.
Perfect.
And yeah. All right.
So I'm halfway through Frost, and I'm really trying not to read it today because I'm buddy reading this with one of my friends, and we were only supposed to read to chapter 70, but this book is so fast to read. If you love reality dating shows, like, you will love this book. Yeah, it's a reality dating show, but make it fae. And the main love interest, the male love interest, is described as Henry Cavill from The Tudors, and I immediately passed away. I was like, oh my gosh. I ordered the second book. This is I think it's a duology, but I immediately ordered the second book because it's so good. But so I'm trying to be a good nugget and not read this because I would literally finish it today, and I'm trying to be a good buddy reader. So I'm going to be reading Queen of Shadows, and I'm going to be starting it, and we'll see how far I get. I've been very intimidated by this one. But let us know if you're just joining, what you're reading in the chat, how your reading has been going. Have you finished your first book yet? Have you finished your second book? How are all the things?
Also, hi. Sorry. Hopefully you guys didn't hear my fiance screaming in the background, but he didn't know I was on live, and I'm like, stop yelling.
Is he playing video games?
No, he's napping, and I guess he heard the sound of the live stream. He's like, what are you blasting? And I'm like, it's printing time. Sorry.
No, I didn't hear him.
But yeah, I actually just read Frost last week because I really just wanted to pick up like a fun fantasy romance, and I loved the mix of like the reality show with more fae things. It's just a super it's a quick, super fun book. So I hope you enjoy it.
Have you read the second one yet? Ambrosia?
I did, and it was good, but I think I like the first one more.
Okay.
I think the first one is stronger, but I still enjoyed the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to wait to read this in the winter, it would be good because basically like the reason for the dating competition to find a new queen for the Seelie Fae is because like it's becoming an eternal winter in fairy, and they need like the queen's magic, and so he has to like assign a queen. So it's not super wintry, but it's sort of.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, Crown of Midnight. There's actually a lot of people that have been saying that they're reading Throne of Glass for the first time, like in our sprint chats.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It makes me feel less alone because I literally felt like I was the only one in the world who was reading it.
Right, because then like that means it's just always getting to new readers, which is good. So for me, I'm still reading Bewitched. I mean, it is a little bit of a chunky book, but I'm on page 293. So I only have about 150 pages left, and I was doing so good reading yesterday that I feel like I can finish it on these sprints. So I'm excited.
You've been doing a really great job reading. Like, I feel like yesterday was a great reading day for you.
Yeah, no, I honestly think part of it is because this book is so good.
Yeah.
Like, I just got to a part where it was like the literal who did this to you, and I was like,
we love.
I love. Okay, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. Is this the one that's by Carissa Broadbent, or is this a different one in that series?
I think it is by Carissa Broadbent, and it also has like a stunning cover.
I know all of the ones in that like series have really good covers. Makes me want to spend money.
I know. Is this one in the Serpent and Wings of Night? I think this one's a separate series.
Set in the world, I think. So it's
Got
like
it.
the same setup, but it's what was I gonna say? But it's like an interconnected, or like it's just like a different authors collaborated and they're all doing like slaying the blah blah blah. It's kind of series. I think those series are cool. Let's see.
Yeah.
Have I read the Bargainer series or the Four Horsemen? So I have not read the Four Horsemen, but I have read the Bargainer series, and I feel like it's one that's been around for like a long time, and they just kind of got new covers and like re-edits with Bloom. So I have seen the new covers around. I haven't picked them up yet, but I did really like that series when I read it. It's It's very cool. And I feel like it's one of the classic fantasy romance because it's like been around in the genre before the genre like really blew up.
Mm-hmm. I think I tried to read the Four Horsemen series, but I couldn't get into the first book.
Yeah. It's definitely like an interesting, it's like fantasy romance, but also apocalypse.
Yeah, and I'm someone who like I don't love dystopian a lot, and so I was getting like kind of those vibes from it.
Mm.
But I know so many people love the Four
Yeah.
Horsemen
Well, those
series.
ones also have new covers, and those covers are cool too. So I love when things get new covers and they're good, not like a bad cover redesign.
Yeah, I was gonna say Magnolia Parks just got new covers, and they're not it for me.
No, I saw them and I'm like, ooh. They kind of just like look like a mass market paperback to me.
From like the early 2000s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I love Magnolia Parks.
Same world. Yes.
Same world, different characters.
Ugh. Once Upon a Broken Heart. Well, be prepared for your heart to be broken.
Yeah, literally, it's so good. Let us know, do you have the second book in the series? Because you're gonna want it once you finish what's
Literally, yeah. And then you're gonna want the third book, and then you can cry because it's not out yet.
Yeah. Soon though, in October. I feel like there's so many stunning books that are coming out in September and October. Like so many pre-orders that I have are coming in September.
I know, it's like insane. I'm like, buy many.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they always like jam pack September and October with all of, like the gothic, like some romantasy, some different things. But it's always jam packed. Just came in. All right, good. So then you can start the second one. Right
Yeah, you're gonna want to start the second one right after.
It's so good. I love that series.
I love Stephanie Garber. Like I read Caraval was one of the series that like got me back into reading during COVID, and I just fell in love with her writing style. I know some people are like it's too descriptive. It's kind of like purple prose, and I'm like, I eat this up. I love it.
I like descriptive writing. I think different people have different like tolerances for how purple they like their prose, but I'm like, bring me the flowery writing. Like I don't think I've read too many descriptive books where I'm like, no, I don't like this. So
yeah, I love it. And it feels just so fairy tale. Like the world that she created is so
I think it's just like it also lends to like the setting of the story her writing does. So
totally agree.
Cool. All right. Do you want to get started on the first sprint?
Yeah.
Okay. I have it set for 45 minutes. Let me just see if I can share my screen. I literally feel like, do you ever have those like meetings over Zoom where people like can't figure out what they're doing?
Yes, you're like, okay, hold on, let me just share my screen. Can everyone see me?
I'm just like, oh God, that's how I feel right now. Okay.
What kind of ambient room did you pick for us?
I picked the one that I was just watching just before, and it's witchy because I was
cute.
Yeah. Okay, let me just see. Did that work? I don't know. How do I? Can you see it on your side or no? Oh, I think I said add it.
I can see it.
Okay. I don't know why I can't see what our layout is. Hold on. Check. Okay. So you can see it in the live, so we're good. All right, so I'm gonna press play and let's get to some reading.
Happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading. All right. How was your sprint?
Good. I only read 30 pages because I was trying to like, what I like about these books is that it gives you kind of a recap of the last one, which is nice because I
Yeah.
read Air of Fire like 2 months ago now. So the recap stuff is nice, but I was trying to like refresh my memory on all the details. I'm
Yeah.
also really deciding whether or not I want to annotate these books or not. I really wanted to get all of the old covers, but I was only able
Yeah.
to find up through Queen of Shadows. And so I think for what's the next one? Tower of Dawn and
Next is Empire of Storms. Yeah.
Empire of Storms. I think I'm gonna have to get the new covers for those. And so I'm like, I don't want to annotate an old edition of Queen of Shadows, so I might like go to Target today and get like the new
You
editions of the next
should.
3 books.
Could you find the old editions maybe on Pango? Or are
That's
they
where I
like
got Air
big?
of Fire and Queen of Shadows, but I found that the like final books in the series, the last like 3 books, were either
Yeah.
super expensive or like much harder to find. So
Yeah, that's annoying.
it is what it is. I'll keep
Alas.
checking because I'm sure that like some and like used bookstores, like I feel like a lot of people like
Yeah.
sold their old covers. But
Yeah.
it's gonna bother me not to have like the matching, you know?
So I had this thing happen where my dog, when he was a puppy, ate the dust jacket of A Court of Mist and Fury of the old
Oh, that's so
and
sad.
it has a happy ending, but I was so upset because it was literally right after they went out of print. But my friend had bought like an extra set to put like a book box like jacket on, so she gave me the extra cover because otherwise like that it was like my annotated copy too. Like I didn't want to not have the dust jacket, so I was very happy that she came through for me. But like
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so
I was,
nice. Of
I
course, you're
was,
gonna get to pick
I was
Akamath too.
so
Like,
when I like just saw him eating it, I'm so bad. He has a bad track record of eating my things, but he has calmed down now that he's older. But lost a few Kindles, a few other books.
oh my gosh, he used to eat my shoes.
Mm.
So like he's chewed on some of the heels of my shoes and then like clothes, but
Yeah,
thankfully never books. And he's grown out of that as well now. He just chews his like rope toys and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Thankfully, my dog's out of the puppy phase. But yeah, that wasn't fun for a while.
Oh my gosh, Kindles too? That's so crazy.
More than one, which is like just embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, the sprint was really good. I feel like I do want to start annotating because now we're really getting into a lot of the development that I know is going to carry through the remainder of the books. And then also I want to do a reread of House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath, and I feel like there's kind of a lot of like connecting pieces.
Oh my god, yeah, there are.
So
I love annotating my Sarah J. Maas books. I feel like they're some of my most annotated books, especially because I have reread them and then like during my rereads, like I add even more. There's like just an insane amount of tabs. Love it. I am 100% for annotating.
Yeah. House of Earth and Blood is probably my most annotated book. I literally loved it so much, but I DNF'd Sky and Breath. I got like 70% of the way through and I was like, I freaking hate this. But I think what happened was I had pre-ordered it. I was reading it like right when it came out when everyone was like freaking out about it. And no spoilers, but like what was happening with Hunt, I was just like, I don't like this. It was like a very different version of him from like what we saw in the first book. And so I was like, I need to call it quits. I've always known that I'm going to like go back to it. I know how it ends. Like I looked up spoilers because I was like, I just don't want to read this anymore, but like I want to know what happens. But now I want to go back to it and see if I have like a different experience with it after I finish the Throne of Glass.
But like I feel like after the ending of that book, like you're gonna want to read the next one.
Yeah. Well, it'll be good timing because like come January, the third book in Crescent City is coming out, and I hope to like finish the Throne of Glass books and then like reread.
Yeah, that makes sense. I reread House of Earth and Blood before House of Sky and Breath, and I think that helps because there's so many like small details. I feel like it helped me like piece together like different connections and stuff. I don't know if I'll be rereading them again. Maybe I'll reread like the second book before the third book, but I don't know. They're long.
They are, but I love House of Earth and Blood so much. I've reread it 3 times.
Oh
So
my
like
gosh.
those details are like solid. Like I don't feel like
Mhm.
I need to read it in order to return to Sky and Breath. I would
Yeah.
just reread it because I want to read it for a
I
fourth
feel like
time.
after I read a book for the second time, like everything that happens in that book is like really solidified in my mind.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think of my most reread book. I think it's either Kingdom of the Wicked or Furyborn because like I read those books when they first came out and then I would reread it again before the next book came out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is Kingdom of the Wicked one of your like favorite series?
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I liked it, but the main character in that book literally drove me crazy.
You know what? She might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but
Yeah, exactly. Those books are so fun though. I love how they get
yeah,
spicier like as they go along, and the
she
last book is
literally
the
was just
spiciest one.
like screw YA. Like I'm just making this new adult.
Yeah,
But
I was so
I,
confused because the
I'm
first book
here.
there's no spice. Like there's romance and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
it
compared to
was
the
written
last
like
book,
completely YA, and then she's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go off the rails. So yeah, they, you know what? They let her get away with it, and now she's like under an adult imprint, which I think is gonna make more sense. And I'm excited that we're getting more of like the different princes. So I'm definitely gonna pick up Throne of the Fallen when that one comes out.
oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Oh
When does that
yeah,
come
yeah,
out?
October. So it's a spin-off series, and they're all adult, and they follow like all of the different brothers. So there's gonna be 6, I think.
Oh my
But
gosh,
the
that's
first one
so
follows
fun.
Envy, so I'm very excited.
I loved the princes were my favorite part of like
Mhm.
those books.
Yeah, and the third book, the whole premise and the way that things all came together was very interesting, and I think it's going to have interesting implications for like the other brothers' stories. So I'm I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a good time.
I thought the plot was really good. I just didn't love our main girly pop. She was so frustrating. It was like you had to hold her hand through everything that happened. Like, how did you get this far in life, my friend?
Well, I feel like the third book kind of explains that, but yeah, her characterization was interesting. But I loved Wrath enough. I was like, whatever. I'll just self-insert myself as his his lover.
100%. How is that sprint for you? How are you getting
It
along
is
with Bewitched?
good. I literally can't put this book down. I'm on page 368, so I think I read like 80 pages or something like crazy like that.
Oh my gosh. It seems like it's really fast to read for you as well.
It
Like you're just flying through.
It is. It's so good. So I have less than 100 pages left. So I definitely think I'm gonna finish it on the next sprint. But it's so good. Like it's just keeping me entertained the whole time. Um, and I just think the premise is like really unique. So it feels new and exciting and cool. And we got some spice, and I think it's always good when an author can like have a spice scene and then like still keep the tension going between the characters. Because you ever
Hmm.
sometimes feel like you get a spice scene and then you're like, okay, well now what? Like there's no way to like keep the tension building. So I feel like this is doing that very well as well.
Yeah. And sometimes like after the first spice scene, they're just like fully in love with each other from that point
Yeah,
going forward. And you're like, oh, okay,
like
perfect.
I think it's gonna take more than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hmm.
So the second book I think toes the line between YA and new adult, and the third book is just like fully new adult slash
Hmm.
adult. Like I would say the first book is just like kind of YA with kissing. The second book, things escalate, and then the third book, things escalate even more.
Hmm.
And yes, you should read Bewitched because I'm having a great time.
I want to read it too.
It's so fun. I'm like gonna get everyone to read this now. Yay! Holly's loving the love hypothesis. Yay! Because I love those books. And yeah, all of Allie Hazelwood's books, like, just inject them into my veins every single time. I love them. All right. Do you feel ready for another sprint?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get started.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back into this.
I know. I just gotta figure out how to fix this video.
I feel like Sarah J. Maas's writing style as well. It's just I've read so many books by her, and her writing style is just such like a comfort style for me that it's so easy to just like fall back in, which is really nice.
Yes, I agree. All right. Looks like. Wait, where did the timer go? No. Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties.
It might have gone behind the video. Sometimes it like
it does that. Great.
behind.
Okay. Sorry. Let me try again. Okay. Okay. All right, start the timer, and I will talk to you all in 45 minutes. Happy reading. All right, second sprint is done. How did everyone do?
You scared me. I did not hear the timer go off. Oh my gosh. I am at like such a juicy part. I don't know how to feel. Obviously, like no spoilers for this book, but I don't know how to feel about what's going on with Kale right now.
Oh my God,
I know that this is like a hot topic.
I feel like I forget all the other like storylines. Like I really only remember the main storyline, which to me means that like it probably would be a good time to do a reread since I don't remember much. But, yeah, I finished my book.
Yay!
So good. Oh my God, it was so intriguing. I loved it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I mean, I'm not really too critical, but this was just so good. Like I was so drawn in the whole time, and like the ending was kind of crazy, and I need the next book immediately because I need to know more about what's happening.
Is the next book out?
No, this book just came out in April. I think the next book will probably be out in the spring, but I saw somewhere she's writing a novella. So yeah, because this guy is 2,000 years old, so apparently this novella like takes place in the original time before he was put to sleep.
So you get like his backstory.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat how you did, how many pages you did, how you're liking your books, all that fun stuff. Oh my gosh, this book is so intense. It's like taking me a minute to like
I know. It's so good. Did you
I'm
get
reading the beginning of it a little bit slower. I only read like 30, 35 pages during that.
honestly, there's a lot going on and there's a lot to digest. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do really want to annotate it though, because I feel like annotating helps things stick in my brain a little bit better when I'm like underlining, highlighting, making notes and stuff like that. So I definitely think later today I'm gonna go to Target and get like the new edition. That is
I definitely think that's a proven thing, right? So people take notes in classes and whatnot. Do you, so since you've already like read a bit of it, like do you know what you would want to go back to annotate? Like how do you keep track of that?
Like go back to the other books and annotate them?
Well, even just like the beginning of this book that you hadn't like that you've read before you would start annotating.
Oh, yeah, I do want to go back. I think it's pretty easy because there's been like certain moments where I'm trying to think of how to talk about this right now. There's certain moments that they're talking about very specific things that I want to go back and like underline and just like notate. I kind of want to read through like a quick recap of like the second half of Heir of Fire because there's some things that I'm like, wait, what is that referencing? Or like, who is that character again? So I need to not wait 2 months in between books to like read the series, but I'm not someone who can marathon a series very easily. Like, I feel like I do need breaks in between, but I need to get back to reading like one Throne of Glass book a month. That used to be
we were talking about this a while ago where I marathoned the Daughter of Lost Worlds or Daughter of No Worlds series, and like it was so fun, but definitely by the end I was like I wish I had something to like break them up in between just because they're so long. So sometimes it's good to have like a little palate cleanser or just take a break.
Yeah, I just like take too long of a break. That's my problem. And then I get like scared to get back into it, and I don't know why I do this, but I need to break the pattern.
For sure. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start Kingdom of Venom and Vows next, which I'm excited about. Hold on, I really enjoy these covers. I feel like I don't see too many covers in this like art style. We have Kingdom of Stars and Shadows and A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal, and it's about this girl Adara, and she is like star touched, which means she can amplify the Fae's power. So she like since she was a kid was in like a marriage bargain with the Fae, and she's human. So she goes to fulfill her bargain, but when she's there, she is like really attracted to the prince's brother, who is the captain of the guard. And he's like the half brother, so he's not like in line. I don't know if he's like in line to rule or something like that, but he's kind of seen as like the black sheep of the family. So yeah, and this is definitely one of the fantasy romances that's like not super in-depth world building, but just like enough, and it's like fast-paced, super spicy. So it's a good time.
I read that in February, and I've been meaning to read the second book, but I was reading the first book in that series, and then right afterwards, I read Court of Ravens and Ruin by Eliza Rein, and they're so similar that I kind of got the plots like mixed together. They're so similar. It's just that what is that one? Court of Shadows and
this one or the other one?
The first book, Kingdom of Stars and Shadows.
Yeah.
That one is like spicier. The Eliza Rein book doesn't have any spice, and so that was like the only differentiating factor in my brain. But I do want to like read the second book in that series because I really liked it.
Yeah, no, it's like really fun. I also have been continuing with that series too because I think I read it. It was the group book for the first Romantasy-a-thon. But she like releases a new book in that series every like 2 months or something like that. And I think the last one is coming out in September. But that's an interesting one because it almost feels like it's just one long book that she just like broke up into short chunks.
Yes.
So there's like one semi-spicy scene per book, whereas like this series, literally there's just a lot of spice occurring at all times.
Yeah, Eliza Rein doesn't like to write super, like, a lot of spice. I read her Hades Trials series because, I mean, you know me, I love Hades and Persephone retellings. And it was the same thing. It was like, I actually got like the omnibus like book that was just like the roll-up of all of the novellas because they're all like 200, maybe 250 pages. But it's just like, it is just kind of like one long book, and she breaks up the releases of it. But I like it.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's interesting because it doesn't always feel like each book is like its own distinct book. Like they kind of just bleed into one another.
So. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I don't know why I'm not getting the new comments on here. I'm gonna try. Should I refresh the page? Because I see comments on YouTube, but I can't see them like on my screen.
Oh,
like
yeah,
over
I don't see them in our comments either. But yeah, you're right. People have been giving some.
People have been saying stuff. I'm just gonna switch screens and start responding to people. Hi, Rhiannon. And then 40 pages. That's so good. AJ Manny series. I don't think I've heard of that author.
Me either.
Yeah. Callis says Kingdom of Stars and Shadows, one of my all-time favorite series. Taste, because it's so fun. And yeah, there's a new book that's following Talia and Soren, I think, which are side characters from the series. And I am also intrigued to pick that one up. Kingdom of Fate and Fire. I'm gonna look it up. And I don't know. I don't like that it's like not. Maybe it's because I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had that happen to me. Where it's not like updating.
I'm gonna try refreshing.
I feel like I read something else by Holly Renee as well. I think she's just like a really fun author. Like you said, the world building isn't super extensive. It's one of those fantasy romances that you can just easily.
Yeah, you kind of like have the main premises set up, and then there's nothing like super surprising beyond that. But that's fine. You just have to kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking up the series on Goodreads. Let's see if we can see the new spinoff. Oh, yeah, A Kingdom of Fire and Fate. Ooh, this cover's pretty.
Is it in the same art style?
Yeah.
Pretty. Yeah, I like that art style.
Yeah. I think it's cool because like I don't think anyone else uses a similar art style, so it's also very distinct to this series. I wonder. I think she does a lot of like contemporary romances.
Yeah, I think
It's
so
like
too.
her first fantasy romance series. Yeah. Looks like she has more contemporary. She's a lot of contemporary books. Okay, let's check the other tab to see. All right. So, how are you feeling? Do you want to do another sprint? Feeling good?
Yeah, I think maybe do one more and then I'm gonna hop off.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Reshare the screen.
I'm excited to get back into Queen of Shadows. These
I
chapters, it
know.
was like right at such a crazy point, and then you were like, the timer went off, and I was
I
like,
know, you didn't even notice. Yeah, now it's like, it's gonna be weird because I'm gonna be switching. Back to sprinting. See you guys in 45 minutes.
happy reading, everyone. heard the timer that time.
It didn't scare you this time.
No.
Oh. So how did you do?
Good. I got up to page 90, chapter 11.
Yeah, I only got up to page 18 because I was distracted. I was like reading through the other books so I could kind of remember what happened.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I was like going back and forth to a couple of things. But I don't know, I'm still kind of reeling from the end of the other book.
Yes, sometimes it's hard to like finish a book and then just start another one right away because you're like, I need to still like process my feelings from the last book.
I'm like a little tired. I might like take a nap and then that would refresh my brain for the next book. But I actually had started this book because I think it came out in March. And then life happened. I don't remember why I put it down. It wasn't like I wasn't enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's time to read it again and finish the series.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so productive.
That sounds so cozy and cute.
I haven't baked cookies in such a long time.
Yeah, me too. I feel like the start of fall, even though here it doesn't really feel like fall, baking something like apple crisp or cookies or whatever, it just like
yes. My mom has this like really good apple crisp recipe, and then you put the vanilla ice cream on top of it. So good.
So good.
Ooh, Curse of Saints. I don't know if I can recall what book that is. I'm gonna look it up.
I feel like someone just recommended this book to me. Hold on. Curse of Saints. Yeah, someone just recommended this book to me on Goodreads. It's giving similar like Throne of Glass vibes. Like it's Spy Master Queen.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds like a mix between like Throne of Glass Assassin and like Nevernight.
Yeah, this is the cover.
Yeah.
I actually have not heard of this one. Cool. Well, now I have another fantasy romance to look into.
Never ending TBR.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Fairy Loot that has the upcoming, I can't remember if it's Fairy Loot or Lumen Crate, has like the upcoming Romantasy subscription in 2024?
Yes, it's Fairy Loot. I feel like I signed up as soon as I saw it and there was already a waitlist for it.
Yeah, well, I think it was only to sign up for the waitlist because I don't think it's coming out until next year.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Well, I'm on that waitlist.
I
really hope that I get it.
I know, and I like don't do a lot of book boxes, but I'm like, for this one, I might have to.
Yeah, I have really liked Fairy Loot, to be fair. I did end my subscription with them just because I had like such a backlog of books that I was like, okay, I actually need to catch up on reading a lot of these, but Fairy Loot editions are always so beautiful.
Yeah, I like have had book like subscriptions in the past and I always enjoyed them, but like I just find it hard to keep up with it all, and then if you like don't get a book that you like that month, so it's just I kind of tend to just buy the ones that I know that I'm like really gonna like, but that's just also me because I'm trying to be better at budgeting.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, I don't think it's coming out until next year, so we have time. Like I don't think anyone knows what's gonna happen, but I know like once those books like start getting out to people and I see them, I'm gonna be like, I need to get this subscription.
Yeah, and I also hope that they start to increase their stock a little bit more because I was signed up to their YA book box, but I had tried signing up for the adult book box. I think I'm still on the wait list for that because they have an adult book only box, and I feel like they just have very limited stock.
They do. It's like interesting. I don't know the logistics behind it, like how much they can increase their production, but I guess I would rather them have a wait list than like just pump out like poor quality stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. Film me a reading vlog of had in Fairy Loot boxes. Honestly, that's a good idea. because
That's a good idea.
like when I was getting the book boxes, I would get the boxes and like love the items and then never read the book.
Yeah.
Their stock is ridiculous. I remember a time before there were wait lists for every book box. That's how long I've been around the book internet. You could just sign up whenever you wanted. And now it's like crazy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it's good that they like I guess don't have the capacity for it, but I don't know. It's still kind of annoying as a consumer.
Yeah. Well, recently, Rebecca Yaros, who wrote Fourth Wing, was talking about, because people were asking her if, what's it called? Iron Flame was going to have sprayed edges.
Yeah.
And she said it's going to have sprayed black edges, but it's not going to have stenciled edges with dragons like she did with her first prints of Fourth Wing. Because she
Yeah.
said if they wanted to do a stencil on the edges, it wouldn't have been released in November. It would have been pushed back to like summer of 2024. So I think that just goes to show like how much time it really takes to actually like put that amount of detail on books.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure like that's why Fairy Loot has the stock that they do, because it does take so much time to do all of that extra like detail to the books. But
Yeah. I that was kind of my suspicion because I figured that they were probably only doing something special for like the first book because it seems like all of the Red Tower books are getting cooled stenciled edges for their first, but because it got so popular, I don't think they expected it to be so popular. So the only thing that they could do is like a black sprayed edge. Otherwise, it would take forever.
mm-hmm.
Um, and but it's interesting because Waterstones does have a stenciled edge one, but I wonder if that's just because it's not like the whole first print run. Like it's probably like way less stock, so maybe that's why they could do it that way.
Of Iron Flame.
Yeah, there is a stenciled edge one that Waterstones is selling.
Yeah.
And yeah, so because I don't have an active subscription to any of the book boxes, like it is kind of annoying because then I feel like I miss out on a lot of things, especially when they sell out before. Because I will buy special editions, but only sparingly. And now I'm like dreading because the Bookish Box just announced that they are doing a Soul of Blood and Ash, and I'll just pull it out. I have their From Blood and Ash editions because I really love monoline art, but like when I had to get the fourth book, it was such a pain. And I remember having to like email their customer service because I couldn't get into the account for the pre-sale or whatever, and it was just like such a headache. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to go through that every time there's another book releases in this series.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But it's like now I have all of them. Now I like know that I have to get the next one, especially because if I try to buy it resale, it's gonna be like $300, and I just can't justify that to myself.
I know. Some of when the whole Fourth Wing debacle was happening, when like everyone was trying to buy it and like the stenciled edges, like first editions were sold out everywhere, people were selling it for like absurd amounts.
I'm sure that it is. I have made a lot of TikToks on the baths, and like because I get so frustrated with the resale market. Like I don't know what other industry you see. Maybe like concert tickets are the only other thing that I feel like, why are the prices so inflamed or just like inflated? Because the book costs, if it's a special edition, maybe $40. Why are you selling it for $400?
I know. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. I'm like, who is buying it for this price?
Yeah.
Oh, yay, you got the Waterstones one. I'm pretty sure the Waterstones one is probably already sold out. I have a lot of Waterstones ones that I like wanted to get and then just never ended up buying because I was like, oh, international shipping is expensive. So
yeah. I had Fourth Wing on my Amazon wish list, and some people gratefully like gifted me books for my birthday, and my friend Joanna sent me Fourth Wing, like the stenciled edition, and it was like a month before all of the craziness began.
Yeah, no, I think I got it. I was seeing whispers and I'm like, I'm just gonna get it because I just have a feeling that I'm not gonna be able to get it soon. And then so my cousin recently got into reading, so we've been talking more and more about books. I'm like, I think you should really like, I think you'd really like this book, so like get it now because I don't think the stenciled edges are going to last that long. And then her sister, who doesn't live with them but like was home for the weekend, she had also ordered her own copy because they are sisters and they don't like to share. And so I was actually over when they were opening it, and we were like, oh my god, is it gonna have stenciled edges or not? Because it was like right around the time where like you weren't sure what you were getting when you ordered it, and it had the stenciled edges, and we all got so excited. Such a pretty cover. Thank you. I feel like from Blood and Ash, here, I'll show the cover again. Like, there was a bunch of special editions that came out all at the same time, probably because of licensing or whatever. But I'm really happy I went with the Bookish Box one because I really love Monolime Art, who's the artist that does these covers. So I think the first time I saw their art was they did the special edition of A Court of Frost and Starlight. That's how I found out about them. Let's see. Oh my god, only 25 copies? That seems like not a lot for how popular the book is.
Yeah.
Oh, why is this still going? Sorry. So yeah. I'm kind of tired. We've been reading for a long time.
I know, we've been reading for 3 hours. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is we have to run to Costco, and then I'm also going to run to Target. This book, I got this off of Pango, and I'm like super allergic to dust, and I feel like it's been making me sneeze.
Oh, when you like open up a book and you just can just like feel the like page mold.
Yeah, it's not in like horrible condition, but I do think that maybe it's just like a dusty copy or whatever. So I'm gonna go get my new copy and keep reading Queen of Shadows probably a little bit later, but I think we both need like a reading break at this point.
I lost you.
Oh, did I freeze?
No, okay, I think I'm back. I literally, I'm frozen. It wasn't working. Okay. You're back. Sorry, I feel like my computer just like freaked out for a second.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was frozen. I heard you say like your screen was frozen and you were like, I lost you. And I was like, oh, maybe it's me.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like my network or whatever, but we're back. But yeah, I think my plan for the rest of the night is I'm definitely going to be reading more of this. And I was wondering if I should like pick up a manga to also like break up the time.
What manga?
So I've been super into reading Yona of the Dawn, which is like a fantasy romance manga, essentially. And because of like pandemic shortages, there was like a lot of mangas that went out of print. So I haven't picked up the next one that I'm on volume 11. I literally haven't picked it up in like a year because I couldn't find it anywhere. So I actually got it at Barnes & Noble like a month ago. So I'm like, okay, I need to actually like get back to I'm like, because manga takes up so much space and they're so quick to read, I don't collect a super lot of it. I'm trying to find more of it like at my library, and like there are some apps where you can like pay like a small fee each month and then you can get the mangas. But this is the one that I'm like committed to actually collecting. So I have to make my way through it.
Mangas are so expensive as well. I've been really lucky. Most of the mangas that I've read, I've been able to find on Libby. Because I tried not to purchase the physical editions because they're expensive and there's so many to buy.
There's so many. That's why I'm like, I'm just going to pick one and collect it and like call it a day. I know I've watched like half the first season of Yona, and I'm really bad with watching TV. So I kind of didn't get back to finishing it, but I will finish it one day. But the anime is super good. I know. I like go again, I go through phases with like certain things, and there are some times where I'm reading more manga than others, but I think I would read more if I like was better about finding it on Libby or other places that I didn't have to like buy physically every single copy. I'm sure if I actually like physically went to my library, they'd probably have some there too, but I don't do that.
Yeah.
I literally drive past my local library every day on my way to work. I'm like, I should go there.
I should go there, yeah. Yeah, I feel like mangas are really great when you just need like a brain break and you want something super quick to get through, especially for readathons.
Yeah.
There was a horror manga, like a vampire horror manga called Happiness that's on Kindle Unlimited.
Yes.
And I think like
I didn't know it was on KU. That's actually kind of cool.
Which is so nice because then you can just like binge read all of it on KU. But that one's actually really scary and like disturbing. Like it's not a fun time. It's actually like really scary.
I think I read the first one like forever ago. And let's see. Someone asked, have you read Night Circus? I have. I read the audiobook in like 2018, 2019, I think. I liked it. I think it would be the kind of book that I would want to go back and read physically because it's such like
it's like kind of dense with the descriptions.
It's dense. It would kind of be the kind of book that I feel like I would need to go back and reread things to kind of just piece together what's happening. But I really like Erin Morgenstern's writing, like considering that I literally have a quote from The Starless Sea on me. So
yeah, I read The Night Circus as well. I really liked it. I still need to read The Starless Sea. It's like been on my want to read for so long and I just haven't gotten back to it. But yeah,
I think it's good.
Yeah. Clearly if you have a tattoo, I'm like, okay, I need to read this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's kind of for the book, but it's more so like I consider it just like for my love of reading because the book is kind of like a book about books and about loving to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think we should probably head off for the night. So thank you to everyone for sprinting with us. And we will be back tomorrow on Tori's channel to close out the readathon. And remind me what time those sprints are?
Yes, let me look that up actually. One sec. Tomorrow at noon my time, so 3 p.m.
All right. Okay, so we'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon then.
Bye. Thanks for joining.
Bye. Thanks for joining.